In today's video, we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people rush into, a lot of vendors rush into, which is renting a store. Now, a lot of people believe that if you rent a store, if you get a physical store, that you've made it. But the truth is that if you rent a store at the wrong time, in the wrong place, and without proper planning, your business is going to struggle. So before you go ahead to go and pay that landlord or pay that agent, please watch this video. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Majoran. If you're seeing this face for the very first time, hi and welcome to this space. Over here, we talk about small business growth, self-development, and everything legal that brings us money. So please do also like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share to anyone that this video might be helpful to, and let's get straight into it. So in this video, I'll be talking about 10 things that you must know before you go ahead to rent a physical store as a small business owner. First thing you must know or ask yourself is, do I actually need a store yet? Do you actually need a store yet? Now, a lot of people rent stores because of pressure or because they want to look serious or because they see somebody that maybe they started business with at the same time is going to rent a store. They feel like, oh, this person is growing, so it doesn't look like I'm not growing. I need to rent a store too. But the truth is, you need to ask yourself, are you really selling consistently? Do you have a good number of returning customers? Do you have a good supply of goods? You don't want to rent a store and you don't have a good number of items to put in the store. To rent a store is not a joke. So you don't have to do it under pressure. Really ask yourself, do I really need to open a store now? Sit down on your own. You don't need to be pressured by anybody and ask yourself this question. Do I really need a store now or do I really need a store yet? Now, the next thing you must know before you go ahead to rent a store is that location is everything. See, location determines your profit. You need to check your location. A good store in a bad environment is a big trap. You need to check the environment where you want to rent the store. Look out for the business of that environment. Is it a very busy place? Look out for the people that pass that environment or stay around that environment. Do they match the kind of items that you want to start selling or you are selling? Now you also need to look out for the stores around you too. The stores around that environment, are they selling, are there a lot of competition or a lot of people selling the same thing as you, or are there people that are selling things that will attract the kind of customers that you want? So you need to really look out for these things before you go ahead to rent a store. Location, see, location matters a whole lot. I've seen people who go ahead to rent stores just because they want to rent store and then they just rent in any location, and in a year they've closed because no sales. They're not making any sales because they did not position themselves very well. So before you go ahead to rent a store and you've seen a store, somebody has told you, oh, there's a store in this place, please check that environment. Do your survey very well to know if that environment matches what you want to sell. So the next thing you must know before you rent a store is that you need to understand hidden costs, hidden charges, right? So before you rent a store, you need to know that paying rent is not just the whole end of everything. There's hidden costs like security charges, light bills, and store renovation and all of those things. So you need to understand these things very well. You need to put them into consideration before you go ahead to rent a store, because you might see a store that they told you 300k and you just feel like, oh, I can rent that, and you go ahead to pay, and then you discover that before you pay all the charges and do renovation, the money might even skyrocket to like 600k, 700k. So you need to make research, know all these things first, make your calculations, and know if it's something that you want to go ahead with before you pay. So the next thing you need to know or put into consideration is the light and water situation in the environment. Before you go ahead to rent a store, please know the situation of the light and water, especially if there are things that your business really requires. Please do well to know before you go ahead to rent. You don't want to go and rent a store thinking that, oh, the light situation is going to be good, and then you start spending a lot of money on fuel and increasing cost. So you need to check the light situation, go to the environment, ask questions, check how the light situation is before you go ahead to rent the store. The next thing you need to know or consider is the accessibility and transportation. This one is very important. Before you go ahead to rent the store, please check if the place is easily accessible. It is very important. You need to check if your customers can easily reach you, if the environment is safe, if there's parking space, and if it gets flooded during rainy season. See, this particular one, a lot of people are falling victim to it. They go and rent a store when it is dry season, and then when it starts raining, everywhere gets very floody and their customers cannot come to their store. So you need to check, because convenience matters more than aesthetics. You need to check if it is accessible for your customers to easily reach you. Next important thing is to understand the landlord and the agreement. You see, this one, it is very important before you go and give your money to any agent or any landlord. Please do well to understand the agreement of the store or of the complex where you want to rent a store. It is very important. Understand the rules, because there are some landlords that can be very dramatic, while some are peaceful, some are very dramatic. So you need to understand and know the person that you're going to be dealing with. Understand their rules. Do they have like strict rules that will not match your own kind of business? So it is very important to look out for all these things. Know the agreement very well. What is the renovation agreement? Some people will tell you, oh, don't break my shop or don't do this. And maybe you want to do stuff like that that will match the aesthetics of your business. So you need to understand the agreement. You need to understand the landlord before you go ahead and make payment. Thing you need to know or consider is the renovation. Before you go ahead to rent any store, please check the store very well and check the cost of the renovation, because you don't want to do heavy renovation just before you start. You need to check if the store is going to take you a lot of money to renovate. Some places are just trash, like they're just trash. Before you start doing renovation, you might just start regretting, because it will take a lot. You start seeing that the ceiling is leaking, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, and then to just cost you a lot. At the end of the day, you might start regretting. So before you rent the store, please check the things that you need to renovate in that store and calculate the cost if it is something that you want to go into. The next thing to know or consider, this is just like an advice, is for you not to rush to hire staff. Do not rush to hire staff. If you just rent a store and you know that your income is not stable yet, you're just trying to pick up, do not rush to hire a staff, right? You can handle your store on your own first until you grow and you know that you can handle paying a staff. But if you're just starting, do not take the expenses of trying to, sort a staff, because, oh, I've gotten a store, let me go and get a staff. You can handle the store on your own till you're really settled and you know that, yes, I can pay somebody monthly salary. I have a stable income. I've put everything in place, and I know that, yes, I can get another person a helping hand and I can be paying the person. But if you've not gotten to that stage, you can handle your store by yourself. So if you rent the store, you can be the manager, the CEO, just everything for the meantime till you know that you've grown to the stage where you can start paying somebody. This next point is also like an advice, which is start simple with what you have. Now, as a small business owner, you've gone to rent a store and you know that you don't have a lot of money to spend on doing a lot of aesthetics in the store. Please start small with what you have, right? Do not try to overdo yourself. Just start with what you have and grow to, renovating. One thing about a store is that you can always renovate to your taste. As time goes, there's always new development, new things that you can change. So do not rush into, trying to over set up just from the beginning. You can just start small, just do the few touches that you can do, and with time you can now renovate or do it into something that is perfect for your taste. Now, finally, before you go ahead to open your store, please do proper marketing. This matters a lot. Because you've opened the store, because you've rented the store, does not mean that automatically customers will start flowing from everywhere. You need to do proper marketing, especially in the times that we are now, where there's a lot of, sales online. For you to attract customers physically to your store, you need to do marketing. You need to share flyers, put out banners, just do things that will attract customers, for people to know that, yeah, there's a store here that sells this kind of item. So before you open your store, please do not just relax or feel like, when I open a store, people will just start coming from left, right, center. You need to position yourself with proper marketing also. Share flyers, tell people, run online ads and all that stuff before you go ahead to, fully relax and say, okay, yes, I've opened my store. So yeah, renting a store can actually take your business to the next level. It can actually elevate your business, but only if you do it with the right strategy and not emotions. So before you go ahead to go and rent that store, please think deeply, plan very well, and make sure that you are actually ready for that next step. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you find it very helpful. Please do well to like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed to this channel, please, and also leave any comments or question that you have in the comment section. Don't forget to share with anyone that you think that this video might be helpful to, and I will see you in my next video.